Dan Kelly here. I'm going to show you some really quick ways to get the right kind of footage out of the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera. I know that a lot of you are very excited to use this camera. I appreciate that. So what I want to do here is make it possible for you to have decent footage. This is not advanced color correction. This is functional color correction. Alright, you can see that I've got my Premiere Pro open here. We're just going to go ahead and open up the Pocket Cinema Camera project file. Alright, you're going to recognize the timeline from the little movie that was on D2L. You see I've got my clips here and the adjustment layer on top of them that I've used to do this color correction. See, I've got these clips of the oranges. You'll see these first ones here where I'm cutting them, or where they look nice. They look kind of decent. They look like they're saturated. And then I've got this other set of clips where the oranges look kind of washed out. And what I want to make absolutely clear to you right now is that the washed out clip is the clip that is properly exposed. Okay? The washed out looking clip is the one that I set my zebra to 85%, and I set the exposure so that the zebra was just starting to appear on the bright spots of the oranges. You want this flat, kind of lifeless looking footage to come out of the camera at first. That's the thing that you want to have in your project tab, not this footage that looks like it's almost good enough to use. I realize that these oranges look pretty good, but the truth is that they just can't help themselves. And the clip on the right is much better looking than the clip on the left, and has a whole lot more range for what you can do with it. The clip on the left is actually underexposed, and the range that you're going to get out of it is limited because you don't have that nice, flat, lifeless footage to start with to begin your correction. So let's start making our corrections, right? We're going to go down here and make our new sequence. Right, we're not going to worry about what the settings are because it's not going to matter. We're going to drop our footage on it, and we're going to take this footage. We're going to drop it on the timeline. Let the sequence settings change. All right, so here we have this clip, and I've got I've already shot it. It's kind of flat, and I've got my white, gray, black target in the middle of it so that I can successfully set my white balance and my gray point. Right, so double click on the clip and go into the effect controls. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to sharpen it up. Right, you got to remember that the camera shoots without sharpening, without saturating, and without contrast, because that's the way you want your footage to begin in your project tab. Right, so we're going to sharpen it up. We're going to be real gentle. You can barely see it, right? Right, what you don't want to do is over sharpen it. If you over sharpen it, you're going to get this kind of an effect. Right. This is what you'll get if you over sharpen. Right. So gentle. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to drop in this fast color corrector so we can set our color balance with our slate. Right, here is where we know white is, so we're going to choose that. You can see a little bit of difference, right? Right, now I've taken this target, and I know for a fact that this is 18% gray, so we're just going to put that right in the middle. And that is the way the footage should look with the initial color correction. I don't want you to choose the black point because we're going to use the contrast to set our shadows. Right? So we're going to go down here and grab the curves tool. Right? We're just going to make a nice S curve here. Right? You're going to pull down the shadows, because that's what that end there is. This is the shadows. Right? We're going to just pull the highlights up a little bit and give ourselves that nice contrast. So now we still have all the detail in the footage, but now we've made our contrast the way we want to have it. Right, if you don't like one of those clips there, if you feel like you've gotten out of control, you could just pull those points right off of the line. All right, the last thing you're going to do is you're going to go back to the fast color corrector and you're going to fix the saturation, right? Because remember, that's the last thing that the camera doesn't have is the color saturation, right? So here you're going to put that saturation back. Now we have that nice bright color. Right, now this is a preference, right? Preference, style preference. But so now that's the way we want it to look. Right? Flat. Nothing. Kind of dark, dull. Sharpen it up. Correct the color. Give it the contrast. So if you have footage that was shot in the same place at the same time with the same lights, now you could take that adjustment layer. Instead of putting it all on a clip, you can make an adjustment layer. Throw that on there. Put those effects on in the adjustment layer instead. Right, and then I have some footage that I know was shot at the same time, with same lights. Here it is. Right. See? Same lights, same color balance. Already corrected. Just another part of the room here. All right. There's your quick and dirty Blackmagic Cinema Camera color correction. I don't want to see anybody with underexposed kind of dull footage coming in. I want to see you slating those shots and then bringing in some beautiful footage, okay? Thanks.